What do you mean you tired? I haven't even moved. God damn. That's what work is doing to you, I guess. You're not used to working. I mean, me neither. So I get it. I get it. I mean, it makes sense, right? Isn't it true though? Like you've been doing nothing for a certain amount of time, and then now that you are doing something, it's more complicated. I get it. I mean, I will be in the exact same boat if, when, maybe I get a job. I don't know. I doubt it. That's a very pink-blue split that we have right there. That's crazy. It's not the usual thing. Not the usual thing. Yeah, I guess part-time, but also full-time 4 days a week instead of 5, if you have heard of that. I have, but I'm also not in there just yet. It will come in. It will come in at some point. Maybe. If you have never seen or never heard of that, this is the 4-day week or 4-day work week. This is a popular website-ish type of thing, but also it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and it has like a ton of not design, but like a ton of jobs that are basically giving you some sort of a split. Let's say Gothic. Hi, what on it? Thank you for the drink. I appreciate that. have a good teeth brushing. So you basically are working like 4 days a week, 8 hours a week, or 8 hour a day, and you get the pay that goes with that. So for the learning design manager, for example, you are getting 38k in pounds, and it's in London, so you are staying in office half of the time. So I'm guessing, I don't know, but 2 days in office, 2 days out of office, probably, and you still get paid like not 100%, but some people, some companies have these things, which is basically giving the employees 100% of the salary as if they were doing the 100% 5 days a week instead of 4 days a week. And yeah, it seemed and also has been proven to be more beneficial for the employees, for the companies. So this exists, and we'll like this. It's good. It's good. Let me give you a link. All right. Here you go. Hi. Welcome in. What did I say? Let me give you link that link. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It has a lot of companies that are mostly UK, US, and Canada. That's where things happen. But I also know that Japan have had tried this year, last year, a 4 days week type of thing, and some companies are trying a 6 days a week type of thing in Japan. So you have both sides of the overwork and underwork spectrum. So, you know, it's fine. It happens. We'll see.
Bad AOA, bad.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if that's a good thing. But yeah, these overall are gonna be pretty good, and I just don't like most of these because they are like, as I said, US only or UK only. Like you could be in the same time zone, which is me. Like I'm 1 hour ahead of the UK, but I can't or I don't. Um, words, words. It's not complies. The other one. Huh. I forgot. Whatever. Also, Vale. Hi. What on it? How are you? Um. Goddamn words. It is like when you have all of the skills and you are a good match and you fit, but it's not the fucking word that I'm looking for. You it's not comply. It's not whatever. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. Even though I'm on the same time zone, I can't get the job. That's the only thing that I'm saying. So that is sad, and I don't like it. But you know, 4 days a week is good. I tried many times for the UK. I don't try for the US. I don't try for Canada because I don't want to move to Canada. And yeah, you need the word. No, let's not contribute. It's I wouldn't even go into the French part of Canada. I think it would be too complicated. I mean, it would work, but yeah. I succeed. No, I. If I have all of the skills, all of the the, the capabilities, and I am a good match, I comply is not the word that I'm looking for. Ah. Why is this? It is right here, right there. There is a wall, there is a thing right there, and I can't see it, but it's right there. I can. Yeah, comply is really close, but it's not. That's not comply. It's not conform. So con seems to be the thing. Um, it's when you. I think right now what my brain is telling me is that if you have like a Formula One F1 race and the driver is selected, they have been. And that's the thing. It's not selected, it's the other one. They have been allowed to. Ah! They. Shit. Well, I can't. It's not compare. Compare is not the thing. Compare is different. Maybe it's not a C. Maybe it doesn't start with a C. It's when I have all of the good ticks except one, therefore I am disqualified. So I am. Eh. Alright. Well, bye. God. What is this word? I Ah! I saw it go through my face. It's not compliant. No. I couldn't catch it though. If you're a match for something, you conform, but it's not conform. That's not a word that I would ever use. So no. We're starting strong. Qualify. Yes. Thank you. God damn. It is Dan. Flora, hi, what calling? Stony, hi. I mean, I can stop the stream as well. Also, Stony, I just saw a message. How is you? Yes, qualify. I qualify for the time zone, which is the phrase that I was trying to do or say, but they don't get the thing. So that, yeah, that happens. Stony, I have a bit of a question for you, and you may be able to help. I don't know. A question on Jason passing. I mean, you did already spend 100k points for that. Alright.
Shape of Veil just resubscribed for 3 months. Qualify.
I guess I'm taking the day off. I wanted to do something. I wanted to do some code today, but I guess no. Fine. Have fun. I don't know. Maybe something that all that. It could work. It's that. Yeah. See you in a bit. That's what I call it. A useless reset. If I have never seen one, because that was just a point reset at this point. Like that's all it was. Which I guess it works. But congrats on spending points, Stony. I know you probably refunded your points already, implying that you can do that again. But it makes sense. Mm-hmm. God damn. I have not seen Stoney's streak in a bit, to be honest. So, I don't know. I do not know. I think Stoney is just spending points. That's what's happening. For reasons. Yes, please. I have opinions to share, probably. I have a lot of opinions on things. Including something that I'm probably going to use. This person right there has created this video, and this video is basically what I'm trying to build on my side, but better. But yeah, the thing that I don't like about it is that it is a copy of Duolingo, like for sure. And I don't really like that as a concept, but I understand it, right? It makes sense. Debatable. Why is my nose so itchy right now? That's yeah, Stony, for the code related question, do you have I mean, I know you do have, but do you have JSON parsing knowledge? I think you do. I'm just unsure. Because I'm getting these error codes, which makes no sense to me. And I see. Which is saying that they can't decode, whatever, the JSON file that I have in the entire thing. So I used like a Python script to reformat them to make sure that it complied, but it's still broken and it's still not as I want it to be. So I don't get it. So I'm gonna do some research. If you don't have the knowledge for that just yet, then it's gonna be a Google type of situation. It was just in case you had some knowledge on that. Before I do anything, though,
Manbreveg just resubscribed for 6 months.
Manbrave, welcome back. Thanks a lot for the resub for 6 months. I appreciate that. How are you? How have you been? It's been a while. Before I do anything, on that file specifically, I'm just going to try something. I'm going to see if it works. I have enabled something new, which is having a button on my Stream Deck to have that pop in immediately, which I think is pretty good. Anyways, as you can probably tell, these bitches at the bottom have changed, and specifically the blue one is bad. It is bad, but it's better than I thought it would be. Though, for the hiragana and katakana switch, I now have the best animation that I had for a while, which is just that entire squiggle thing. Just the tabs, not the characters above. Like the squiggles that just grow to the entire width of the thing and then come back. That's neat. The bottom, though, the bottom is shit. And I don't like it. But yeah. Also, yes, Stony, 100%. For Larkin. Franco Faces will give you the pronoun in front of people's names, which I can see on my side. Right there, which is good. So yes, I've been working on this bitch ass thing for today. I do have this, which is basically what we talked about, Stony, last week. Defining the curve and the 4 radius of the circle. You said 3 times, and no, it's like almost 5x the width of the screen. So that took a while to plan and place and do, and then when I did that and it worked for a second. No, I know. And now the thing that I have made is that I have the segment control shape being defined somewhere else compared to where it used to be, and instead of having like a circle, it's now a vector again. So it's kind of bad. It's really cool that I can just do that at 20 here and have my 5 segment control being pointy in a way. That's fun to an extent. I don't know if it will load though, because it's been a while. I haven't loaded that much, but yeah. They're trying to discriminate against me for my military services. That's kind of sad. So, as a judge, that's kind of sad. I see. Well, that's bad, but I get it. If you have like a way of finding not a method, but like a way to resolve the issue, man, Brave, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. So yeah, like that's the thing. I wish I'd done that faster. But yeah, now I have the ability to do that if I wanted to, which basically just means it's a curve the same way as before. But yeah, that is fun. Nonetheless, Martin, I guess Martin. Might not. It's your first message. Welcome on in. And let me check that because I can see this is a decent related thing. This is a 5 years old thing, which doesn't mean anything with Swift UI, right? Because that is old. But yeah. The issue is that these stories are nested in an outer dictionary, which you also need to pass. This is going through an API, which I don't have. I don't use an API. Cat, I have a lot of questions for you. Welcome on it. I'm gonna need to read that entire thing and try to understand. Yes, you. How's the first day? How's everything? How's the stress? How's the monster consumption? I know you. Thank you for that. Yeah, it looks similar. I do agree with that, with the key not found thingy that we have right there. Which now I can zoom in. But it's also like a fail to decode, like this thing right there. Sorry for the nausea. But yeah, that's the thing that I don't really understand, because they said that the data couldn't be read because it's missing, but the content of said file is not missing. So it's either they needed to have like a flat bracket right here, or I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Again, Martin. I think Martin. It's even if it's J, I feel it's Martin. Because you're kind of new here. I don't know what I'm doing in code. I'm trusting Stony most days, and yeah. I'm saying a flat bracket because like, right now it is a curly, but I know that sometimes in JSON they are expecting an array, which is not an object. Right now this is built as an object, or the other way around. I forgot which one it is. And so maybe the expected output is supposed to be like an object, implying that it had like a flat at the start, which is similar to this one, which has a start flat and an end, sorry, and an end flat. That's why I'm saying that. So yeah, I don't know. It might work. Right now, there is a bit of an issue with Anthropic that have a bit of a outage. So I'm still on ChatGPT, which is bad. It's not the greatest for code, but yeah. I mean, 4.0 is not the greatest for code. 0.1 is better. 1.0, I forgot. But it doesn't work on cursor. So hey, yeah. Yeah, you can have an array or an object as a full thing. I mean, it is technically an array of things. Like this, this is an array, right? That tags is an array of tag. It has, I think, key value pair, as you call them. But then the word is an object, I think, or is an array of objects that it contains stuff. So yeah, it's complicated for my head. Also, ChatGPT being what I was talking about earlier, for some reason, and the reason why it's bad is because it is trying to create the entirety of the file generated, rather than just telling me or giving me, oh, this line needs to be updated. So they have tried to generate the entire JSON file with the entirety of the thing. Whereas it used to be, I don't know if I have code snippets from earlier, sorry for the amount of colors, but basically, what's that? God damn. With Claude, you basically have that. Like, you have comments in the code, and that, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, I can't do that. I can't, I mean, yes, I can. But if it turns out that the formatting of the file is not the right one for now, which is probably the case, remember that file is 200 megabytes. I think this one is 119 megabytes. And it's, how did we say? 1,850,514 lines of data, and I don't have the willpower to just rewrite that. Obviously, yes, Python will be good for generating these things and reformatting, but I already used a Python script to reformat that, so, you know. I don't want it to create the content as well, because the content is coming from another project, which I can't, like, it's not like I can't, thank you, appreciate that. I can't really differ from that, but I'm using the scripting things that I talked about last week, and they have like a gmdic simplified, which contains the entirety of the data that I need in JSON, when it used to be in XML files. So that's what I'm using. So it's parsed in a very specific way, and it's good, but it's also bad. I know it makes no sense right now. As in scripting files, this is the format of the JSON file that I used to have. So it is just single lines things, and it makes sense. But yeah, it is complex to keep in mind and get like organize that. So I used a Python script to reformat this file specifically. It's not good, and I wish we could keep the initial formatting that we have here, because it's the exact same thing for all of the files, because I'm going to use all of the dictionaries splitted. Right now, the all dictionaries is like a very, very massive file. It's the one that is 220 megabytes of data, which I don't want to see. And so it is already splitted into multiple languages. So that's what I kind of like. But if I need to reformat all of them, I don't like that. And it seems I will need to do that. So we'll see. Right. I can't do that. I tried. Stoney. I tried. The comment palette is telling me the file is too big and we can't format it. That's the first thing that I did. Yeah. It's fine. Yes, exactly. I did the same thing. I did the exact same thing. So we'll see. We'll see if I can figure out something and have that fixed. For now, we do have the data coming from an XML that is good. In the previous commit, so I can just revert if necessary. I didn't do a new branch, which is a dumbass move from me. You know that's a dumbass me on me. But yeah, at least we have something that works. So yeah, Vil, tell me, give me context, data, information. I think you said something earlier, and I forgot to read. Yeah, I did the formatting with Python first, which is worked. It added a lot. It added a lot of tabs. That's what I'm seeing. Like specifically on this one, or sorry, on this one, it added like a lot of tabs for no fucking reason for me. So yeah, this is right underneath you. This is Shape of Veil, right there, and yeah, shape sounded like fuck. That's interesting. This is like an online chess game with gambling stuff, I see. And you want feedback on the design, structure, layout, specifics. Yeah, I saw these two. Everything, cool. Which one do you prefer? Or do you want me to just choose one and move on there? I see. So that is a me thing. Well, that's sad. You prefer the second one. Cool. Me too. I do too. I do prefer that section better. I do think that some changes needs to happen, but earlier you said something about this being your first ever design stuff. So based on that, there is knowledge and unknowledge that I can take into consideration. And then, yeah, I'm seeing things already, so I'm gonna just move on to straight Figma. It's gonna be way easier for me to navigate that. It's your first gaming-like design thing. I see. I see. Let's see if I can see better. I can. Overall, yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. Overall, pretty good. The structure is making sense. The chess pieces are drawn by you. Good job. The board is weird to me. There's something that doesn't match, but I think I understand why. Almost. Maybe it's just my eyes. I don't know. And then I'm just reading the layout from my understanding of chess, which is extremely limited. As in, I think I played 20 games in my life. Maybe more than that, maybe 25. But yeah, not much. So, limited. Some of the things are not really placed where you are supposed to see things. So that kind of weird me out. The one that is the most tricky, specific to me is the Play Now button. The Play Now button is in the spots where the logo is usually for most websites. And the Play Now is usually on the far right, like the opposite side. So if, and even I don't think it would be there, but if the Play Now was how I think it is, I would place it there if it needs to be in the header. If it doesn't, I would place it in the view to play against someone. But then it kind of implies that you are not playing with Adam Sandler right now, which I think you are in that view specifically. So it feels weird. I don't know enough about chess to know that, but yeah, maybe they need to be swapped. And I don't know when they was probably the case. Probably. So, yeah. I think I agree with that. I would do better on the radius matching because I've seen that from a mile away. There is a thing that is kind of weird to me, and it's the visual issues with the grid. I know that the grid is probably perfectly aligned and everything is good, but when I'm looking at it from far away-ish, like there, some of the elements look higher than others, and because of their color scheme, like it seems the distance in between this purple one and this white one is 0, and then you have a greater gap right there. It's not the case, but it just feels weird. So it's a color related thing. I don't know how you can fix that. I'm sure it's possible, but I feel like the gaps and the fact that they are not square, flat angles on the corners doesn't help. Like if I'm here, I'm fine. I can see the differences. But if I'm further away, that's where things happen. Anyways, that's just a detail. The rest is pretty good. I would have a circle cut out in the background to just not have the VS versus be split in half. That makes no sense to me. And the rest is nice. I don't know why you don't have this box go to the bottom. I get it. As in, this one is here, this one is here, but they are not in the same height. So I don't know. Just choose choose one. And the other thing that I saw earlier is you have a lot of overlapping elements that I don't know if it's entirely necessary. As in here, you have the multiplier or the amount that you are gambling in that has the minus and the plus, so that's pretty good. The spacing is pretty bad, if I do say so myself. In between your elements is really small, and then on the side is not the same as the other side. So that's kind of weird. It's another layout without being another layout. And it's not fully rounded, but it could be fully rounded, and I feel like that could be better. So that's the thing. But then again, the main point that I was about to say is you have the background itself that is like a lighter purple. You have the plus and minus backgrounds that is a lighter purple, and you have the 32 background that is an in-between light-ish purple with a bit more vibrancy. It is more purple red than the other one on the sides. So you have like 4.5 colors right there. That's a lot. And then on that same bar, you have another button that is purple, another button that is blue, another button that is white, and another button that is red. And I get it, because these are the gambling things, so they need to attract the eyes, and you need to ensure that the user knows exactly what they are about to click. But I feel like you could have these things be less in your face. They can still have colors, but maybe they need to be muted colors. As in, right now it's a vibrant blue, it's a vibrant red, it's almost like a perfect red, and it's a very bright white. All of that kind of brings more stuff to the eye. So when you are like looking at it from far away, it just jumps at you more than the rest of the page, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know. To answer the question that you had earlier, I think yes. I think the board being fully squared in between the spots. How is it called? Dells? No. Whatever. The places where the pieces can go. That tiles, yeah. I think it's gonna be better to be like fully square. But I have a feeling that the main issue is not the fact that it's square, not square. I think it's the color differences in between the two spots. And like if you, let me see if I can do that. Do we have, we don't. Huh. We already have so much fucking, I say that every time. If I were to do that, and I do, let's do black at 1%, you don't really see it, it's on the white background, and I just add a background blur. You can not see, but you can see how the pieces on their respective colors, they just move out of the view. The contrast in between the tiles is good. The tiles and the pieces, it's just out of the way on both sides, by the way. Like the white on white, just not there, and the black on purple, not there either. So that, I feel like may be beneficial to have like a bit of a recoloring of the pieces. And yeah, that's a trick that I use often, the blur effect, to ensure that the visibility of things makes sense. So it works most of the time. Zzz. Uh, it is too contrasty and not enough contrast at the same time. Like for the tiles themselves, I think it's too contrasty to an extent, because obviously chess is pure black and pure white, so there is a ton of contrast. But because of the website colors using the same colors in the board is kind of out. That, yeah. So that's the first thing that I was saying. And then the second thing is, for me, I feel like if I had eh, god damn. That's a lot. If I had that's not right, but
It's muscle time!
actually, hi, work on it. Like, this is way too bright. For me. Also, yes. One of the things that I have in mind right now is the chess.com UI, which I don't know much, but right? Background is green. The white tiles, not white. And the black tiles, not black. So you have enough contrast with the pieces, and I'm losing the whites on the light green, for sure, with my vision. But yes. Eh. Eh. Maybe. Maybe it is. God damn. Let's see. Each of these are 2, and then each of these are 2, and each of these have a mixed radius. So I'm gonna make that at 0. And I think the main issue for me, GK, hi, welcome back. How are you? How have you been? How is everything? We've missed you. Some people have asked about you earlier in the week. Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I mean, yeah. 973 is not no good. But it is leathery, yes, for sure. For sure. Anyways. Get it right? That is a black one, Stony. I feel like that's not enough contrast with the dark one. Anyways, that's not my main point. The main idea was I don't think the grid being like square square changed much. Like it doesn't impact much of the design itself. It's just like it, yeah. I got hung on that. The distance helped, yes, 100%. The distance helped, and I feel like if you had this be clipping content and with a bit of a radius around it, like that could potentially help. Potentially. But yeah, that's about it for this. The other thing on this side, this isn't filling out frame, cool. I feel like if you had that, like as a versus type of situation, that could help. But that's not what I meant. But this would work. This would kind of help. Compared to this, like that line is just no good. So keeping that in mind. The rest is good. As I was saying, you have some borders here and there, which I don't really know. Like if it is necessary, I feel like it brings more problem than anything else. As in here, you have the shadow plus the border, so you have a highlight plus a shadow in the same spots. I don't know. You have the same thing here, like most of your buttons have borders, but then these ones don't. So it's a bit uncertain. And then this thing, which I know what you're trying to do, doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work is mainly because it is in the opposite direction as the shadows and light sources. So if it was horizontal and you had the bottom section being with a shadow and the top section being lighter with a highlight, it makes sense because it's a drop shadow. It's like a raised bump to define the sections on the board, which makes sense. But this is like a vertical thing, so that no work. Thank you, Gothic. Have a good look. Appreciate you. So yeah, you have a lot of teeny tiny things that are like good design on their own, but they are combined with things that just don't make a lot of sense. The main one being like the borders. There is a ton of borders for no apparent reasons. You also have like a ton for me of drop shadows on text, and that is a no-go for me. Like I do hate it with all my life and all the rest. But yeah, hey, it's just better. For all the effects, that you have that are using shadows, just remember where your light source is, and most of the time the web related light source is the URL link bar at the top. So in any spots, regular spaces, you have the URL link that is here, and that is the source of light. So any shadow is going to be straight down. That's the idea. The rest is good. The rest is good. I don't really understand why you have so much space on both sides, but why not? Like you have enough space to potentially just do that, you know, and have these two things on the side to be, I don't know, 80. These ones are 16, so you can have 16 on these. And just match the thing. And be good with it. It's an option. Yeah. I mean, it is currently like a 50-50 thing. Almost. I get it. Wow. I think I fall sick today. It's fine. So other than the color scheme for the board itself, I don't have any issues with what you already have. The placement is pretty good. The layout is pretty good. And other than the fact that you have like a lot of borders, Sheraton, hi, oh, come on in. I don't know. I don't really like that section anyways. It feels, as you just said, it feels too wide. So good job, Sheraton. Yeah, that is in the center. If I haven't seen that in a while. Damn. Congrats. I also agree with that, Stoney. Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, I'm looking at this, right? And obviously that's probably the inspiration that you had as a starting point to recreate that, but you can see how the tiles are square, and then the thing that is on the side is tiny, like really tiny. And here you really are taking as much space as you can. So I could say maybe you can put them on top of each other. On top of each other is going to be kind of weird. But yeah, it could be reduced. That whole thing could be reduced for sure. For sure. Yeah. Otherwise, good. Otherwise, good. I feel like the pieces that you've made yourself, that's pretty cool. but they don't really match with each other much. And the letters being on top, eh. What do you mean to the outside? The outside here? What, the outside of? Oh. Yeah? It wouldn't, it's not a bad idea. It is not a bad idea. It's, yeah, it's not really for the scores, it's mostly for the moves. Because right now you have all of the moves of both people so that you can see when there is a reaction from one move from one player to the other player. But I don't know how useful it is. I mean, it is useful to have the moves, but I feel like you need to know. And the moves that have been done have been done. So unless you are like a grandmaster playing chess and you know like a move combo, as in maybe if a user is trying to do from that piece moving to this spot and then from this spot moving to the other spot and then from this spot going to there, this is a method, this is a thing that exists. But yeah, I don't know if it's really necessary to display the user's past moves, or at least display them that much. That's what I'm thinking. I don't. Yeah, it could. I could agree. Maybe, potentially. Oh, that's what happened. My bad. I think I might be able to beat no one. Probably not. Bitch. That's not, as I said, it's not a bad idea to spread it out. It's just weird to me to have so much space underneath, because we would remove the moves, probably. But it's not bad. Like, it really isn't a bad idea to have, like, the players on both sides. Also, how the fuck do you have your versus shadow not being a shadow? Yeah, the players on both sides looks nice. For me, the main reason why it looks nice is because it is how it works. Like, you will be competing from one to the other. The thing is, you as yourself, you're technically here. Like, that's where your player head should be, and your opponent should be here. But if you do that, you have less height for the chess board itself. So side to side is pretty good, but top and bottom would be much better, because it is in the direction in which you are looking at the board for sure, and then your opponent in front of you. Some of the thing that you could do is that. Not exactly that, but that. Which is weird, right? It is weird. That could work, but that would imply that you are looking at the board game as a spectator, and not as a player. So, debates again. But that's pretty good. I don't know about the moves here. I doubt it is as useful as we think it is, and if it's not, and you agree with me on that one, I feel like this could potentially happen. Maybe with your opponent above and you underneath. As I just said, it's really bad because your board is now gonna be like that in order for you to have the board displayed. So I don't like that idea, but I feel like that placement is gonna be better, more accurate to other things. This is fine though. This is okay. So you basically have that, as in you as the player, you can track your moves and your opponent's moves. But yeah, I mean, it's your opponent will have their own on their sides, but you don't need to have access to these on the other side anyways. So I feel like this is going to be easier to manage right there, so that you have just access to you and your moves and the moves of your opponent, and then you can navigate through what happened. The other side is just like, yeah, that's the person that you are playing against. Maybe you have like some data about the person or the player, but other than that, I don't know much. I have been sneezing since this morning. Makes no sense to me. That's not. You can do that. If it bothers you that much. To me, it's even worse, but you know. One of the thing that I will say, I mean, I'm not sure, but if you have a bit of gambling, money thing involved, this is too clean. I think it is a good idea, Sony. I agree. Have a good stall run. Now? God. I mean, yeah, it's open there for you. Yes. That God dang. I think it is a good idea to have like side by side. I do like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. But yeah, I do think the raise the deal or the amount of money that you are betting, that it should be there. Like it's a gambling thing. You need to have the dopamine of gambling. I know it's bad, but still, you need to. And right now it's not there. It is too clean. It's too business casual to be able for me to just say, oh yeah, that's a gambling site. Other than, as Tony said earlier, the logo is way too bright, and maybe we need to have something different colors, which I agree with. But yeah. Players top bottom on one side with the button between. Nah. I mean, I get it. Right, you just want that. Which makes more sense to have the player line with their sides. I agree with that. But you lose steps visibility. I think if you move the move to the other side, then that's not gonna work. And the thing that I don't like with that is you as your player profile thing is on the top right most of the time, and you as the player is on the bottom of the board because it's the closest to you. So you as the player, you need to be on the bottom side, and so that is way too far out for me. That option, bitch, that option right there is fine to an extent. This one is better, obviously. But yeah. Then we just do that. And it feels empty on this side. So I don't know. I mean, personally, I really think that this is best right now, even with the empty space. And the other thing that could happen on the other side, going back to the gambling section, you could have a past win type of thing. Like this person has won, I don't know, $500 on a match last week, and this person have lost $100 last Tuesday. That could incentivize the current player to say, oh, if I play aggressive, that could work. Maybe, I don't know. With the betting story, yeah. The betting story is what I had in mind, if that's the previous comment that you were talking about. I think, yeah, I think that is. Yes. So if you had that on bets, but also. I'm debating the usefulness of the moves. That's where I'm landing right now. I'm thinking that potentially like this can just not exist or not be there, and the actions button, yeah. I mean, you could do that. Oh, interesting. Eh. I don't know if the moves are really... I mean, personally, I don't think it is that useful, but I trust you. Not as much as I think I am, so I'm gonna say no. Also, like something else happened this week. New discoveries. 1 second. Fix this thing, and then cool. I am not familiar. I know of it. Adventure Times hasn't been that much of a part of me. It has been the bigger part of my sister. Therefore, I have resented it. So when she was watching it and talking about it all the time, that pissed me off, and I basically just moved it out. So I have some of the references because I've seen them so many times, but I have never watched the thing. I don't like it. Anthony said there is a short notation for games played, but I don't know how short or not short they are. Yeah, maybe. Welcome back, Chris. That was a golly, that yes. I mean that makes sense. Yes. Which is already what we have here, right? In terms of naming convention. I don't know. Yeah. Click on that. That is a sad time. Yeah, that's loud as fuck. Ha. Similarities with what? With who? Oh yeah, that yes. Yes. Also, again, I can't watch that for more than 30 seconds because YouTube is going to tell me that is copyrighted material. Yeah. Anywho, have a good 5-minute breaks. Yeah, Stony, I feel like this is enough of a thing, and it's small enough to ensure that the user know what happens. The thing that I like they don't like right now is the position for that. Like, we can't redeem Robin Spy. Hi, welcome on. We can't really redeem swap. We can't really swap the betting things on or under the opponent side, which is weird. And yeah, I mean, we could. We could have the bets because you are betting against that person, so you can raise or check or hold or fold your opponents, but that's different. So I don't know. You can ask it whenever. I mean, the basic discovery is that there has been a rise in pumpkin seed oil being used for air growth, and a lot of TikTokers that have money involved are starting to talk about it. So I don't know if it's true. There has been like basically a research paper that came out about pumpkin seed oil being good for regaining hair follicles. So yeah, Because Shape of Veil has created or is creating this website currently, that website, and is trying to get some feedback on that, but went out for 5 minutes, taking a dump, and then coming back. It's not really a discovery. It's pumpkin seed oil has been known for a while, but it's just like there was no studies involved, and there is a new one. But again, this is one study. I don't know the focus group. I don't know the extent of the length of the study, and it might have been just a pilot, but the things, the outcomes of that pilot is looking pretty good. Yeah, it wasn't a discovery for me. I said that was a discovery because of that research. But yeah. Cat, that is, if it works for you, HP is good. They are lighter than, yeah. From the Mac OS news, Denny has received his Mac. And now he's broke, but yeah, now he has a Mac. Good news. Interesting. Yes, like him, kinda, to an extent. This is a program that I'm using for streaming. Enjoy top tier UI. Yes, I have to use that because that works. And yeah, if it works and the work can be done, I don't see the issue. I think I was in your department of not liking the software that I'm using because the UI is bad for a while, but I just don't give a shit anymore. It is that easy. So if you need to cope, I have basically when we were streaming directly from the PC and we were doing a new stream overlay per month, I was doing the new stream overlay, doing all of the alerts, all of the automations from this software specifically. And when that came to be, I just basically I had 2 weeks of stream overlay with no looking at this, but then I had to work on that for like a week before the next month came in. So, I've been working on that for full days at times, and it's fine. You just get used to it. Like OBS has been the same thing. It's not the greatest. It's better now, but it's not the greatest, and it's fine. You get used to it. So I would say that just you will get used to it. Try to master everything. Like if you can understand how you can do things, and it works and it's good, yeah. What's the tool that you're using? Are you using like Axer or some shit? Like, is that what you? I mean, Axer is better now, but like, are you on Balsamic? Are you working on that? that bitch ass thing that hasn't been updated since 2001. Maybe. And I agree with Tony in some to an extent. Like, I would rather have a tool that just works rather than a tool that looks good. Like, if it looks good but it pisses me off because it doesn't do the thing that it's supposed to do, I'm not. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So. That's a different brain. I don't think you're gonna make it. Yeah, I was right. So yeah, I think just use them. You're gonna be used to it. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. Stoney, you know that I didn't even notice that it was a French flag at all. I am so much not a French person that I didn't even notice that this was a French flag. God damn. God damn. I'm not sad about it. Maybe. I think my main point remains, Leon, as in the fact that the gambling betting section is not more prominent in the UI is just not good to me. As in, it may be better to just do that. God damn it. Yeah, well, fine. To make this thing more visible and then maybe, I don't know. I think I know perhaps. Yeah. That email doesn't exist anymore. It's so bad, they don't even have screenshots. I guess it's one of these. If that's the UI and it's basically just a dashboard maker, is it? I feel like, from what I'm seeing, right here, these looks like dashboards. And if that's the case, I mean, it's, you can survive with that. You can survive with that for sure. For sure. Oh, for fuck's sake. Lol. Sorry. Huh. Huh. I don't know. It's missing something. Um, it is missing something, and I don't want to go full on Web3 right here because I can. That's the main issue. Uh, but yeah, I would rather avoid that if I could. Yeah, that could work. I mean, the thing that I'm like debating right now, that I don't really understand how you can raise, fold, check on the chess game. Like, on the poker game, yeah, 100%. But it's your turn. You need to move a piece, and then you check. What the fuck happened? like what are you gonna do? What's gonna happen? I don't know. Yeah, like checking on poker is you don't do anything. You just wait for someone to raise or not. So if basically that can't happen, as in you can't check a move, and if you checked your move, your points or your pieces should always stay in the exact same space. So you can't have like c2 checked, move to c4. No. You checked, you didn't move for shit. But then how? Like, how do you? How does thing happen? Like, you basically let your opponent move twice in a row because they raised, and then if you fold before the end of the game, it means that you lost your bets, like your initial bets. Let's say here you raised 32, cool, on first move. Dick move, but fine. You raise at 32, the other person check, you check. Therefore, the next one needs to raise or fold based on poker logic, right? If they fold, they checked, so you get nothing, you lose nothing. If they raise you, you need to like continue, so you need to not raise, but you need to follow and match the bets. Poker logic again. So I don't know. I don't know how it works, and I think that's what is most complicated for me right now, because it's just poker chess is weird. I mean, if you hold, hold is basically keep the same bet. So if someone is raising you at 32, then you hold, and that means that you basically match the bets, and then it moves to the next round. Pokers. So yeah, it's It's weird. I was focused on the look and feel as well, but it's just like the moves kind of makes no sense to me. Uh, I, I, I think the raise is an okay thing, but it's, from what I understand, it's an unfinished um, game mechanics. Check would match your move. So you raise by 10 and make a move. I can then make a move and match your raise without raising more than you. Yeah, then call it match. No, don't call it check. Because check is... These are poker terms. That's why I don't like them. Not because I don't like poker, it's just that it doesn't apply to chess. So just, yeah, call it match. Match, hold, fold. That's that, yeah. That makes more sense. Raise is good, but it could be just bet. Like, bet, match, hold, fold. Check is also a chess thing, that is true. I didn't think about this one. But yeah, you're right. So yeah, the game mechanics need to work. I feel like it. I'm throwing out IDs, right? Each move costs. So if you want to move on, you need to add money. So then make you play more, because the more you play, the more move you do, the more money you have in line, which makes sense to an extent. But if I need to pay to play, and it doesn't work. Yeah. In poker, it makes sense, because if I'm dealt with specific cards, I can bullshit my way to the top, and that's fine. But in chess, specifically if it's a gambling site, you're not dealt with anything different. It's just how good you are, which means that if you have like a history of the player and how much they won or lost, you will have player just like high-ranking players play against low-ranking players in order to make more money, which is fine. That's the game. But it's weird. I don't know. I think, yeah, Stony, from what you're saying, I feel like that's the behavior, as they will raise you the next move, and then you don't do anything, so you check, and then you just fold, implying that you will not spend more. It is weird. I think the mechanic needs to yep, Stony, that is a good move. It's a good move. You can do something like yeah, I mean, millions, I don't know. I don't think so. But Most people will not play against a grandmaster. Oh shit, I don't have that anymore. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I don't have the data showcased. Um, I yeah, the game mechanics needs to be perfect to make it work, because if it's ah, Shenjiro, hi, welcome on in. I haven't reviewed day 4 yet. I am in full chess mode right now, but welcome on in. I hope you're good. I hope your day was good. You bet against someone else. So another player, you get an opponent, you bet against them to win the match. They decide to raise you because they think they will win against you. Therefore, you either raise them or you match them their bets, and then from there, I think you should not be allowed to bet anything else, and it's just if you fold and you stop the match, you lose 50% or 80% of what you have betted, what you did bet in the past. If you win the entire thing. If you lose the entire thing. But if you fold, there needs to be an incentive for the user to not fold, basically. To know that they will lose 50% or more of what they have betted, they did bet on the game. But having the raise while playing, I don't think it works. Like, it's kind of weird. It's a smart move to allow bad players with a lot of money to just make the good players lose because they don't have the funds. Yes, also that. But also, if it's a gambling website, who the fuck cares? Right? If it's gambling, allowing players to lose everything because they are addicted and or they have went to gambling for fun and they lost everything on that day. Yeah, I don't know how I mean, I don't like it, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't allow that. So yeah. Also, yeah, you can do that, Chris. That's a pretty good move. I didn't think about that. So basically, I could go on the website, go on chess.com, play against the computer on a very high level, and let the other person go first, as in pick black, and then whatever they do, I do on the computer side. That's a pretty good move. Yeah, it's a pretty good move if I do say so myself. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how yeah. I mean, you get design review. Ha. I mean, right now, no. But yeah, I really feel like there is something to be defined and ensured with the overall um, game mechanics. I don't know him. Hmm. So they basically built a chessbot, and that's the entire thing in 1 hour. That's pretty interesting. Um, has a good voice though, from what I can hear. You probably can't hear him on your side, but good voice. That sounds Swedish. Scandinavian Viking person that learned English. It's interesting. It could be Dutch. It could be a Dutch person with a yeah. It sounds like a blonde person. What am I saying? Yeah, nay. Not really. Not on that front. Like I'm pretty good with these kinds. That is a white ass blue thing. So yeah, overall, the layout was good. The thing that we came up with the side, I mean, not we, the thing that Stony came up with the side-to-side players is really good. I really like that. The moves and then the actions happening on the bets being more prominent, that makes sense. And I like that. It's just the game mechanic that don't exist or haven't been defined. And that's just bad. Like it's yeah, the mechanic needs to be more than ready to just make sure that it works. Yeah. The thing is, you can't really design something if you don't know how the game works, which is something that I've kind of argued with Stony a lot on No Mercy, as in, if I don't really know how the page is going to work or how everything is linked together, I can create a page, but it might not work. It might look good or match what we want to do, but it's not really going to be accurate to the end goal. Therefore, you're going to do the work twice, because right now you're designing for this kind of poker style game mechanics, and then maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, when you have finished that and you figured out, or the client figured out that it needs to change, the mechanics needs to be different, it needs to be based on something that is I don't know, like another game rather than poker. And then you need to rethink how the game works. So some of the buttons are going to move out, some of the placements of things are going to move out or be changed. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What you try to do with that? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that tiny? Nah. No, your stolen PCs, by the way, that's a pretty good thing. You can have your slots right there. You can have slots in your user cards, and you just have one or two, like an empty thing, like that. I mean, not that, but that. I don't know how many you can have stolen pieces, but that's a good thing for your current spots. All but the kings, I see. That you could have that either in your card, in your player card, or underneath. Shit. And now I'm giving IDs. Maybe if you store a piece, you gain more on the output of the game. I don't know. I think the piece peeking out was pretty nice, yes. But it's just where it... Sorry, wrong button. Where it was here, kind of complicated. Hard to manage. You also have like a slot right there. You have enough space on the design that you currently have to potentially have them just stack. And it's not necessarily what I... God damn it, force of habit. It's not necessarily this. It could also be that. Shit. As you stack them. So you have enough you have enough space here to add all of them. As long as you can really define what they are, yes. I agree with that. Don't you... Brain. If you're... I don't know how they are called in English. We call them pions in French. These ones, the small ones, reach the edge of the board on the pawn. Yes, that makes sense. Yes, yes, yes. Which is the same name. It's the translation. If your pawn reach the other side, you can take back any piece that has been acquired, right? Stolen, as far as I remember. So that's why you need to know what your opponent has, so that you can click, basically exchange or retrieve one of your pieces. Huh. So yeah, that could work. But I like where you are right here, like that UI shift compared to where we were a second ago. I mean, a second ago. I don't know how long I've been streaming now, but yeah, an hour ago. That this is pretty good. Where I had to go. I didn't see that. My bad. Thank you. For the heads up. But yeah, the difference between this and where we are here, I really feel like this is good. You're just gonna win the end game as always, which makes sense. Yeah, that's much better. I don't know about the match, but yeah, fine. Still, the board itself, the the dark spots are too dark compared to the not so black pawns and pieces. The pawn is in the center, right there. I just can't see it. Like it's just out of the view. So, nah. Make the left and bottom borders bigger and put the file and ranks in there. I think we could, similarly to what we've made for you on the side. Yeah. Like that can easily be on the outside of the container itself. And even then, again, I don't play chess. I don't think you need them. If you play chess, I don't think you need them at all. Like it's just okay. We have a checkerboard. The piece move in a certain way. That's about it. That's all I know. And the fact that this one is c3, unsure if necessary. So yeah, I do agree with that. Put them in. Put them in. God damn. Yeah. I like that. I like that. I like that. Saint-Edville has had to go. I'm seeing other things now. And Vale's back. Hi. Yeah. I think I think the stolen pieces could be a stack right there to match the size of the buttons for the opponent. So when the opponent is getting one of your piece, it goes here at the bottom so that it visually align with the other side, which is the button for the steps. And then when you store something, the piece are going there because it's on your side, close to your board. So then it just stacks there. I feel like that could be pretty cool. Two different places, but that way, because this is closer to you as the player being here, then you can retrieve one when your pawns goes there, potentially. These are the, I think these are the steps so that you can navigate with what happened on the game. So if you want to go back in time and see the last 15 moves before you do the next one, I feel like that's going to be mostly what these buttons do. But again, I don't know. But I think that's my understanding of it. Maybe. I think that's the. It's basically this. So yeah, it could be there, and then they expand in here, and then you have your pieces there at the bottom so that it matches. There's a bit of a layout shift, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm saying here, but I'm not showing the screen. Yes, 100%, yes. That is the move. Yes. Yeah. When you say floating island, where do you think it would go? Floating? Like overlapping the Oh, you mean a fob? Like a floating action button and just thing? Yeah. I mean, that works. It makes no sense though for this, but yeah. The floating action button fob, depending on where you are coming from and how you want to pronounce it, it usually is a list of creations or a list of subpages that you can access to. It's rarely a list of action that you can do on the same page. It's not impossible to do that, but it's just not the usual behavior. And the thing with the floating action button is mostly on mobile makes more sense. If you put it on desktop and you put it here, people are gonna think that this is the AI chat helper customer service type of thing and will never click it, just because it is the placement. So I think it's gonna just be better to just have them there, because these are your steps and your moves, and having the actions to navigate your moves from there makes a lot of sense to me. Like, yeah. Like, yeah, I feel like you should be able to click on each cells, each row of that list of move to navigate through them. And you probably shouldn't have access to the entirety of the game, so you will have the last 20 moves, maybe. And that's about it. Like, it's gonna be better. But yeah, again, from what you said, that red is red. Like red. It is red. And they wanted to make it red. They realized that red was good. It's really calm. I mean, that purple is really calm. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, for gambling, game-related gambling sites, I don't know if I want something that is calm. I think I want something that is inciting activities, spending. Purple is really like just soft and calm and yeah. Like, I don't even know. Like here, which are our French gambling games, you can see how colorful these games are, and how the game works. And I mean, all of these are just on mobile and not on desktop, but because you can cheat them on desktop. But when you go on the lottery, lotto, all of these things, it is extremely soft. But the the reason why these are soft is because they are known. But these ones that are kind of new, they need to be flashy and attract the eyes and make sure that the users know that these is new and that you can win gold and you'll have stuff and yeah, all that. Like I had a friend that was playing on the app a lot, and on these games, the most crazy thing that I saw was the chat. There is a live chat happening in the French games that on these teeny tiny things that are only on the web or something. That is good. Basically, there is a chat on each game, and people are just chatting and saying that they want to win, and they are telling in chat the numbers that they want to come up while the game is playing. The game is automated; they can't do anything about it, and it's just they are screaming through chat their numbers. I don't get it. Yeah, also that CSS thing when someone is losing money, that's crazy. That's the amount of money that has been spent today. Today. On this page. Today. God dang. I need to build like a gambling site. That's what I need to do. Right? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Alright. Chris, Central. Your turns. Let me load the pages. Yeah, it's, I don't know if I need to. It would be beneficial, yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed it would. Oh shit, that's true, we did that. I got bamboozled by you, Stody. Because because now we have 2 alerts. Anywho, who's who? I mean, I think you answered that on Discord, Chris. I think that yeah. Cool. Book Nuke and Book Nuke, and both are 4-4. I'm gonna go through this one first, and we'll see what we can do. Cool. I see one issue, personal taste. I don't like these things, but that's fine. It works. Most people are not really bothered by it, but this right there, this just makes me... I don't like that. Just either make it insetted or make it flat on this side, but not that's bad. That is bad. The main reason why it's bad is because it is creating basically a half pixels on that curve thing, and it never renders properly. So that's why I don't like it. most of the time. But this page being a 404, I don't know if it makes sense. That's a lot of text for no reason. So I would not have that. Back to the home page is good. It's the exact same thing as clicking on the logos, and I like that. Search for something else is really good. That's a good addition to a 404 page to ensure that the user can find or return where they were, if they were on the search page. That's really cool. And then I don't know. Contact us to like help the company. I don't think that's gonna work. I also need something. All right. It's less yellow than I thought. Other than that, this page is pretty good. It's a bit crammed in the center, and there is a lot of text for me here. But layout is good, content is pretty good. I may have reorganized things, as in having the search right underneath the header, like these two things in between here. Like that makes more sense to have just apologies, search, what else can you do, rather than apologies, what else can you do, search. You know, just order of content, and then that thing at the end wouldn't do that. But yeah, that thing, no, and the shadows behind it, I don't like it. If you look closely, I don't know if you can see that on stream, that might not be apparent, but visual weights impact your shadows, as in the shadow that you see behind the white section of the input is visually greater and stronger and more visible than the shadow that is exactly the same underneath the button, because of the visual weight of the button. The button is dark, therefore it is attracting more of your eyes, and you are distracted when you look at the effects. So it looks as if the button was closer to the floor, even though the shadow is the exact same amount. So I don't like that. That's why if you inset it, it doesn't appear as in there was less shadows underneath. But yeah, that shadow shouldn't be there. The white part on the background is not really an issue, and this is fine. But yeah, shadow, no. But nothing much to say around here. That's that's about it. On this one though, I am guessing this is Shanchiro's one. Mainly because the grid in the background is the same as last time, and I have a feeling that this is starting to be a pattern. That's a pun. But I like it more because it's more sober, cleaner overall. I like the logo here better, just because of the fun part of the font, the K being a bit curved, and the illustration is cute. This is more business. business. So a mix of both could work, but that grid in the background is pretty interesting. I would have the 4/4 here be way more bold. It would be like a black or ultra black 4/4, something that is heavy. Let's go. What? Search is there, which is cool. Back to the home page is there. It could be a bit thicker, because the main button is the one that you want the people to click on most of the time. And then that's bad. It's 2, so it's better than just 1. But I'm sure you can rephrase that to either have a third word or put these 2 on top. It's probably an option. But yeah, that's the thing. Oops. and a hoe, really complicated to say for French people. This H, we can't do that. There have been discussions about it on avoiding oops and a ho and aha and exclamation wording that are mostly like verbal, yeah, spoken patterns rather than written patterns, because it dumb it down to an extent that it makes it seems like, oh, it's just fun, something happened. Oops. But I don't really like it. That's a personal thing. That stack though is what we called a widow or an orphan. So if you have a child that is alone, that's an orphan. You will attempt to avoid that at all cost, and Larkham has been pointing them out most of the time, which is really cool. But yeah, that we avoid that. So overall, the page is really clean. It is centered mathematically, but I don't think it's visually centered. The amount of text is better for me. Headers is smaller compared to this one, and this is small details. I like that. I don't like the shadow underneath this, and I don't know if it's a shadow or if it's just that the input field has been a half pixel at that fuzzy thing at the bottom. Because if that's the case, that's bad. If it's not the case and it's a shadow, don't put a shadow. Because if you had a shadow, it would implies that the thing is solid. So you shouldn't be seeing the dots through the input field. But that is pretty good. It is pretty good. Details are on point. Alignment is good. Contrast ratio, which is the point that we had last week, is on point. And yeah, I like it. You did good. I think what I would do on yours, Chris, is a similar pattern. I would have that mascot thing on the right, on the left side. That is the left side. On the left side. And I would have the text on the right with less text, but the same type of content. And just that being bigger. Because that way I would see that it's a 404. Right now I did it because I clicked on this one, and the 404 here was obvious. The 404 here wasn't. So because I came from here, that made more sense. So yeah, that's the thing. And just that's bad. I think the this one was pretty good a long time ago. They used to have the what can you do from there, but yeah, if you have never seen this one is the dribble 404, which just basically from the color scheme that you define will find shots on dribble that have a similar color or that hold that color in them, that you can then click on them and just get inspired, but by multiple things. So the access, the 404 is basically a discovery page, and you never know what you're going to see or find, and if you just scroll through just a little bit, you can find different stuff. It's pretty cool. I will like that. It's just cool illustration. There. Then I feel like this is kind of the same concept, as in you can access other pages on the website, but also I think that's my monitor that is kind of not dying, but kind of. Yeah, maybe. I see colors, as in I see a part of red and green there. I think it's just my eyes that are just fucked up today because of the lights. But yeah, a bit of a gradient in the background could help to make the thing oh, they exist? So I'm not crazy. It is extremely subtle. I would make it a tad less subtle. I wasn't sure, but yeah. And yeah. Other than that, I think I done a full circle on both of these. This is really corporate and this is really fun. Yeah, that's about it. Can't say much more than that. Can't say much more than that. I had some... Why did I come back to this scene? I had stuff loaded that I talked about earlier today. As I just said, that person right there is or has created a tutorial. It's not, but has created a tutorial for creating these things in SwiftUI, which I will probably follow. The reason why I'm air quoting the tutorial is because this is not a tutorial at all. It is just a video of them typing things. They don't speak, they don't explain things, and the only thing that I'm seeing is what they are typing. So unless I'm paying attention to everything that they type, this is not a tutorial. But it is a 17 minutes video, so if they can do that in 17 minutes, it's kind of crazy compared to me trying to do something for 2.5 weeks and still can't do it. But I'm probably gonna follow that at some point because it's a cool concept to have like a progress path type of thing. Yeah, probably gonna do that. Anyways, I kept that. There is a ton of other things. If you haven't seen this, I should just zoom in because it's loud. This is Cyberpunk 2077 with mods. Yeah. If we can do that with today's tech, we are living in a simulation. Yes. Yes. It's crazy. Anywho, I've been seeing things like cute Japanese babies doing cute stuff because they are doing cute stuff in front of the bowl of ramen. Like, yes, that's not what I'm talking about most of the time. But this is kind of the inspiration that I had earlier for their corner purple things on the card for the user. So that's coming in. There has been a ton of these over the past year. So if you like this type of design, you can implement it. Just know, because we have been seeing these specific purple alongside this specific corner placement a lot lately, this is going to be outdated really soon. A lot of people are going to be fed up with it. So if you want to use that, you need to use that today or next year, like next year kind of thing, which is basically what we did with Stony in the top section. Instead of doing it in the bottom corner, we did it in the top corner. That was my way of doing the same thing, but the opposite, you know, keeping the same concept. But yeah, other than that, there has been this thing. If you haven't seen it, it's great. I love this. There is music in the background, obviously, but this is like representation of piano songs, music type of thing. It looks good. It sounds good. It's much better than what we have everywhere else. But yeah, just pointing things out here and there. And then I kept this one mainly because it's good. But what is this thing? I've been obviously trying to build like the app icon for the Can app, but I can't figure it out. So I've been trying to keep a lot of inspiration, and 60 FPS has a ton of data from apps, including things like shots from apps on Twitter. So maybe someone has made something, an animation, and 60 FPS found it interesting, reposted it, and then it ends up here. But what is really good for me is in education or in everything, you have the app icons, which right now I'm looking for and trying to find something that makes sense in terms of design, but also in terms of understanding. So that, like for example, that's pretty good. Your animation on your app icon, that's what you're saying? You could do that. Yeah, you could do that. That's an interesting way of doing it. Huh. I'm gonna check something. we could make an attempt. I just had an idea. For you specifically, Stony, for the No Mercy current logo. Yeah, that's what I'm have in mind. Could, maybe, potentially, to an extent. Anyways, this 60 FPS dot design is basically referencing Twitter's posts about design, and I feel like it is better than layers.to or other things because it is linked to activities, and like you could have access to the I think you can have access to the initial post pretty easily. So yeah, I like that concept. But yeah, I like these things, and I was thinking potentially integrating the skulls. Obviously, my skulls as the app icon, but it doesn't match. So right now I'm kind of still on that vibe. We need to work on it at some point together, I feel like, because it's okay, but it's not good. And yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But it's okay. It's not the greatest. It's fine. Stony, for you, I just had an idea. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's new. Yeah, we need that. Ha! Maybe. I don't think Figma is going to allow me to do that, but we're going to attempt as well. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work, but we never know. Welcome back. Figma just changed the UI again. On everything. That's crazy. They added like a bit of a shine to any models that they use. Which is weird. Ah, yeah, it doesn't work. God dang. Bitch. Sorry. That wasn't planned. Oh yeah, I doubt that that's gonna work. Wrong button. It's wrong, but it's a concept. Eh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think for you specifically, I don't think like the line, the construction line would be a good thing as a reveal. I think it's more gonna be like a play forward, because it is the icon, right? So it could may mostly be something along the line of moving on, adding something. You could have just one of them and then just dissociate, right? Like that happens as a Because that's easy to do. Nothing's harder than me. Nope. uh, I don't know. There's probably a ton of options and things that you can do, could do, might do to be able to get like the transition animation that you want, if that's the thing. But
It's muscle time!
I see. Can you explain what you have in your head about the logo? You sure about that? I don't know if I still have it. I think I do. I think I do. That's something like this. It works. It's not impossible. You can basically do pitch. The thing is, because we have like a play button. That's the issue. Because we have a play button, it's gonna be complicated. Because you can have that as your starting point, right? You can have your play or your heart, if that's a thing, that can then from here rotate. So that's a pretty simple thing to do. And then from that, it could have an extension of this line to then have the play button. The transformation between one to the other is not really an issue to me. And the addition of the secondary line is not really an issue either, because it's gonna come in at the same point. So the transition between the heart to this is okay. Like, that's fine. It's just the addition of the line that I don't know how to do that. Other than how I just did it. I think if I do that, yeah. Do that makes no sense to you, right? Oh shit, no. Oh, I was right. Mm. It's feasible. That's what I'm saying. Hmm. 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 As in the rotation could work. No, you shouldn't need After Effects. It's just the addition of the point that I'm not sure about. That line, I'm unsure. But it is feasible. That's all I'm saying. As long as you have your vector 4, like that's the line, and then these. Oh, interesting. These are the base. That one is not necessary. You should be able to have that work. Potentially. can it be two lines with a cut in the middle and 1 pixel gap? For what? I mean, no, hi. Yeah. It was, yeah, today was bad. I made progress. I lost everything. So it's progress. The wrong direction. Oh. No, because they need to be linked. Technically, if I don't have the line, or if they are not linked here, I'm gonna end up with this. That's not what we want. We want the angle here. So yeah. That's kinda bad. It's kinda bad. It could be made of that. Like we could do this, but then we have the heart that has like the rounded corners, angles, things, and that's bad. Don't like that. Obviously. So, yeah. Yeah, there's some shit like this. See? So pretty. So it is feasible. Like the transition between the step 1 and step 2 is one result that is bad from the creation or addition of that secondary line. So what we could do, I don't like to do that, but that's an option. What we could do is this instead. I don't know why this is broken, but yeah. What's the name of this thing? What's the name of this thing? There is like a full library. I mean, that um, that exist. So I don't know much. I think you don't need After Effects. And yeah, I feel like with the steps that I have here, that should work. If you can unselect it, I can, yeah, look at it. Yeah, that's not an option. But that's basically what I did. Like, this is not that. Basically, the issue that we have for the heart is this. What we can... maybe? Basically... that... I think. Yeah, you could morph that. So it's not really the same, but you could basically align these. Align these nuts. You could align these and then render them flat to get your play button. And it's the same amount of points. So that is SVG Morph is going to help you to do that. And then the only option that you have is have the exact same thing for the line itself. So you need a secondary spots right there that is going to be roughly cutting here, right? So that's going to be here. And so from this point there, what's going to happen is that this line is going to transform and do that and flat, so that you have these coming out. So now this point can move up. That works. That works. Sorry. If you're here and you have a point and you want to delete the point, you press P and then you press the Command or Alt option. Alt key until your cursor is becoming the pen tool with the minus. Oh, dang. That's how you do that. Does that work for you? Or would that work for you? I think that is something that I didn't do, which is this. That needs to happen. But is this the same amount of point? So from here to here, that's an option. It's better than what we have there. The main difference is gonna be that if it needs to be here, this is fucked. And we kind of need to swap from fill to outline. That's bad. It's going to be a bit complicated. So what we can do is have both of them also have a fill, if that's necessary. But yeah. Everything with that, you should be good. With the SVG morph, because it's path 1 to path 2, should be fine. And specifically with that, path 1 to path 2 would just give you the non-rotated option, which is just that. So you just need to rotate the div in which it is, I think. Do they have like a playground or something? Yeah, probably. I mean, if you can make SVGs directly, you will 100% be better than me. So, yeah. I wish they had like a website, like a playground. Yeah. You can try with these two things. Shit. Let me check. Yeah, Lodi is kind of bad, but you can see the transition for the heart to the play is pretty okay. It's just like the Bezier curve are kind of out of place. Well, it kind of works to an extent. Me? Maybe. You can clip that. That would be appreciated. I am, sadly. Yeah, that transition is okay. Like that. From the heart to the play, just the heart to the play is pretty okay. It's just that this is a mess. But
It's muscle
yeah,
time!
up to here, it's pretty good, right? Oh, goddamn. Oh. I lagged. I got stuck up there. Fuck's sake. It happened. Yeah. You can try it out. I really think like GSAP is gonna be your best guess for that. Um, yeah, I mean, technically you need to have that, like the busy curves need to be kind of not reset it to 0. Kinda. And Figma is just SVG based, so we kind of good. We are kind of good. That reset is gonna be bad. So. I don't know why, but yeah. Nothing. If I do a hover animation from this to this, it does nothing. It's gonna break. It just fades. Which is bad. It's something. I don't think it's better than Lori, but it's, yeah. I just transition without really transitioning the points. It's not good. I think, again, I really think that GSAP is going to be way better because god damn. I don't even know if we have a plugin for GSAP, you know? Maybe that's a thing. Bitch. We don't. Cool. Oh, oh, oh. Ah. Ah. Oh. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. It's not a point-based transition, so can't do anything. GSAP. GSAP's gonna work. For sure. For sure. I just, I would need more understanding of this to be able to make it work. And I would need to know if it's free or not. Because free stuff. But yeah. If it exists in GSAP, it probably exists in open source somewhere that would let you do what we're trying to do. So, yeah. Yeah. There's a thing that I'm unsure about, which is that maybe the circle is made with all of the points of the hippo and not just 4 points, because this is 4 points. These are 4 points. These are more than 4 points. So if it's adding points and deleting points, then I'm good. But if it's creating another shape with all of the points every time, it's gonna be complicated. The only difference that I would say is that it doesn't seem to have another shape next to it. So that I'm unsure about that. Like that split. Try it out. I think try it out is going to be the best option for you. If you do it in two separated SVGs, yes, but I think these should be the same to have the transition. You know, I know that these are two separated things, but it is so big. Can I edit it? Can I edit that? No. Shit. Sad. Yeah. Hmm. It's two path IDs, but they are rendered in the SVG box. Try it out. Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna say. Try it out. And we'll see if it fits, if it mix, if it max, if it works. You can try with more points, like if you wanted to have the actual shapes that we've made, you could probably. And this one is going to be simpler than this one. But if it's really as much as we want, I think yeah, I think we can have like as many points as we probably want, and we should be good. And we should be good. Try now. Try GSAB. Pushing GSAB so much. I have made some progress, by the way. Not that people care, but yeah, I finished that. I've made all of the hiragana shapes, so that it's pretty good. My coloring? What do you mean? What do you mean coloring? Coloring of what? What you talking about? Oh. Oh, that. Because it's not a gradient. That's why. It's basically you have it's not, you have an overlay of white on top of the main color, and that overlay of white is a gradient from white to white at 0%. Yeah, that's it. So it looks as if it was a gradient, but it's not. And that's also why we have that cut right there. It's the overlapping of that shine thing. If we don't have it, it's just flat. And that's why it's easier, I mean, for me at least, it's easier to recolor and ensure that we have a good gradient every time, because then that makes sense. The magic formula I can apply to the front color extracted from the back. Nope. I mean, technically my light is my 300 and my dark is my 800. And then I just have the overlap on top. So there's no real formula. No. It's based on the color scheme. So if you already have a color scheme that uses 300, 800, it should be good. At least you are good. But if you're asking about that section specifically, that no. Because it's not like it's not a cut it out part. That highlight makes it tricky? Nah. You can think of it like this. Because it is like this. It's the same shape 3 times with 3 different types of color feel. And 2 of them are in the same place. So the shine and the dark are in the exact same place. There is just the light as a sandwich in the center. Well, got it. Not really. We move in lightness, obviously, in HSL. So lightness going from 38 to 76. So that makes sense. But we move also in hue by a lot. Like we move by 14 points to a greener hue. To get that value for the 300, and then the saturation is just more saturated from 75 to 100. But there is no real formula that will work for sure with any other thing. I'm kind of sure that this one, if I get the shine out and I do the exact same thing, It's not gonna be that. Probably not. Oh, you know what? It's similar. Bitch. Sorry. I know. Like the hue, the hue shift is almost the same. The saturation is just less saturated on the lighter ones, which is the opposite here, so that doesn't work. And then the lightness is going up. Not exactly by the same amount, because we're going from 36 to 40 to 93, where here we went from 38 to 76. So this is a double, and this is like a triple. So that's not going to work. Though, one thing that you're not taking into consideration right now is these are green and blue. They are extremely close together. That is not the same. You can see how the hue is the exact same thing, basically 58, 53. The saturation is close, and the lightness is kind of the same as the other one. So there is something with lightness, but we just have like blue, green, and red, and yeah. I think I think the best course of action for you would be to use shit like this. If they have like an API, which is the case, and if your user is defining one color, whichever it is, like let's say your user is wanting to do that, and that's the color that they want, right? They just pick that out. You use the 300 and the 800 based on that generated stuff automatically, so that you don't have to think about it, and you just need 300, 800 for the logo. I think that's gonna work. Unless your user is doing this. But if your user is doing this, it's the same thing. Use 300 and 800. I think it's better. The color that we're using here, at least, that's the official color that we're using, and on the logo itself is the 300 and the 800. The 600 is oops. The 600 is on the text. Sorry for that. I kept these ones. Yeah, all of them are 300. I think. I mean, technically no, because these are the new patterns. So these are the 12 and the 9th. This is the old patterns that I kept to keep. Because these are the tailwind colors, and these are the radix colors. So it's a different formula. But because you are using the tailwind colors, I'm using this one as an example. Which is even worse to me because they have no knowledge of how it works. There. I don't know. I mean, I'm not using ShadCN either. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're using that, it's not gonna be the same. I think this is blue. And I think mine is teal. It's kind of teal. Closest, at least. So yeah, that's 800. So 800 is true. 300 isn't, but it's close. And E. And here, it's not a 300, that's for sure. Like here, it's mostly like a 50 or 100, and combined with the 600, roughly 650, 550. It's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. I thought it worked already. I don't know. If you use the Mom UI kit right now, I'm using 12 and 9 from here. So, different, maybe? God damn, I'm so stuffed. So the lightest is going to be these and these. 12, 9. 4 of them. It's going to be fucked for this one. For sure. But yeah. So it's 12, 9. It's 12, 9 on dark mode. I don't know for light mode. I think light mode is probably going to be 5 and 2, 5 and 3, roughly, to get the same effect. Yeah. 12, 9, you have 2, so it's going to be, yeah, 6 and 3. Unless you want it to be as visible, which I don't think is good. It's weird. It's a weird process. I don't think it's a good idea. Saying that now. Regular dark mode, 12.9. Light mode, 6.3. 3.6. No, 6.3. 6.3. 12.9. 3.6. 12.9, 3.6. Yes. That's the match. Top 12.3. Bottom 9.6. I know, it makes a lot of sense. Let me just... I don't know why I changed screen. Let me just make one so that we have an option. Primitive light and 3. Oh, you know what? 9 is pretty good. I did not use a numbered color for one of them because the dark one is a color available in all image palette. And the format looks good to make the lighter ones lighter. Yeah, I can't do that. The same thing as usual. This Radix, which is the color that I'm using, that I have been using for the Mommy Market, they exist. They do have a setup, and you can define like your colors if you wanted to. Like it's not an issue. Like that's a thing. That would give you the numbers automatically based on what you want, but it's kind of weird. It's a weird behavior, so I don't know. I don't know. I think they have some explanation of how they managed the color creation, but it is a weird one. I like Radix because it has opacity option, but it is weird. Really weird. Hi again, Flirton. We have apps. I like it as well, it's just not making any sense. Like this one is better for me. UI colors works best.
Mom?
What do you mean, Zaps? What happened with Drop? Drop's dead? Yes. Apparently Drops is dead. I really need to do that, to be honest. Oh, for fuck's sake. How? Try again. Much better. You are going so right. I thought it was rigged. I thought it was rigged for a second. Perfect. Perfect. Avoid allegation. Yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I'm tired. I have my nose that is clogged. It's pissing me off. And yeah, that happens. John is live. Vash is live. I don't know. I don't know, Pooch. 2 O's. We have multiple pushes. Oh, you mean John? Oh. Who are you talking about? I know. I know you meant that. Anyways, we're reading. That happens. Thank you for your help today. Appreciate that. Thing, wherever it is. I don't know where it is. Link. That. If you have a question and not live, please do that. Not live tomorrow. I should be back on Wednesday if all goes well. We never know. And yeah, you can stalk me online and all that things. As always, if you want to give me money, that's appreciated, but that's not necessary. I would rather you buy something than sub here and give money to the Amazons. You know, all that. I guess Stony Ones 222 is pretty clean. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. 222 is pretty clean. Well, too late. 223. But yeah. Thanks a lot for being here, as always. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Eat something, drink something, be kind to each other. You know the drill. And I'll see you soon. Bye.
It's muscle time!
No.